Shalom, shalom Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching and teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. This is your brother Shapal from the James Jamaica camp with a quick lesson. And this morning lesson is based upon the fact that this agenda has already been set, and everything now is revealing. It's just that the dominoes, are set in place and are falling, and through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we have seen these things, and we can break it down through the scripture, so we know what's going to happen before, right? And this is a prime example, of testimony, or a testament, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai words are true, right? This title of this article which one going on, all right? So this website is Technocracy News and Trend, right? And it was posted the 21st of February 2023. All right, it said East Palestine launched a digital ID program days before disaster. Days before disaster. See? Let me get that scripture before. All right. 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. I read it now, the NIV. It said, in order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. Right? That's a so-called white man for you, man. He's the devil. Satan. You know what I mean? The physical manifestation. Okay? And the things that he's doing, we are not unaware, because the Lord showed us, aforetime. So this just goes to show you that the things that were done in East Palestine, over there in Ohio, right? It was well orchestrated. All that was orchestrated, man, to get the people in a particular mindset, problem, reaction, solution. That's what Esau always do. This is a continual pattern that he always use, See? Which we're going to read the article and expound. So it said the small and affluent community of East Palestine is an unlikely place to see a medical ID system for residents. It is partnered with My ID. Right now, our goal is to offer government entities solution that will help them to solve the identity challenge of their citizens. At the same time reducing IT costs of the developing alternative solution. My ID is a new player in the fintech world, right? But it is backed by major globalization players such as MasterCard. Small communities like East Palestine are easy sales target. TN editor. Right, so this agenda is basically to get, and it's not just America, right? They just create scenarios to push the ID system, because it's out here in Jamaica and all across the Caribbean and through the four corners of the earth, right? Right, they're getting people. They're moving the economy to a digital economy first, right? But the main and aim, right, and the goal is to get everybody a device implant in their hands, right? Why? To control, to surveil, right? To track, right? Now, this goes into the book of Revelation 13 and verse 16. Right, that's what it speaks of. And we'll get this scripture very soon. But let's just go in the article to show you that, look, everything that happens It doesn't happen because of coincidence. You're going to see a lot of things, and more things are going to happen, right? This society, where we're living in, man. And it's all geared towards one thing, a one world government, right? With utmost control and surveillance and quantifying whatsoever you do, right? So this paradox, as Klaus Schwab recently opted, right, in the future of global hegemony will be dependent on the mastery of avant-garde technology, which were once relegated to the realms of science fiction. With that power in mind, technology advanced artificial intelligence, synthetic biology, and other pillars of the World Economic Forum, so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, have begun to permeate into our everyday lives. Perhaps no greater example of the imperative of the technological elites to harness those technologies, right, as the digital ID, right? So the digital ID, it's out here in Jamaica as the NIDS, right, through the Caribbean and all type of other names. It's been called through the four corners of the earth, but it is the same thing, right? It's the premise of an overarching digital identity as a mechanism for vast government surveillance. That's the word, keyword surveillance, which was of the cornerstone of the authoritarian response to the C-19 pandemic. Apparently, that crisis was not the only instance of an opportunity to beta test the tools of dystopian oppression. Right? This is dystopian oppression, but as the article says, the big C, right, back in 2020, 2021, or 2019, it was a forerunner. You know what I mean? Problem and create a problem, right? It's problem reaction solution and create a problem, right? Watch how the people react, and then I give them the solution, right? So they're the ones that is forcing it, right, smartly on these people, And the big C was a great test also, right? Let me get another scripture. A matter of fact, let me go into the most important scripture here, right? And it has to deal with prophecies, right? Okay, so this is Revelation 13 and verse 16, and it says, He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? Now, he said, cause it all, right? Now, when you check out the scenario in East Palestine, right, there's all type of people that live there, man, right? Rich and poor and so on forth, right? Now, it's a small community, but nevertheless, they're diverse people, right? Rich and poor, free and bond, right? And he said it caused it, right? Now, what going to happen for cause? Because now, you're not going to just, it's going to be something that going to cause you to do it, which means you're not going to have no other alternative but to do it. It's going to do something, right? That's going to cause you to really receive this implant, right? In the right hand or in their forehead. Now, let's go into the word mark right here, right? So the root word, we have charagma, which means a stamp, an impalement mark, right? And one can read it as I see on the screen, but for the interest of time, it's a long article. So we'll just stick at a stamp on our imprinted mark, right? Now, back in Roman time, this is the prophet John, basically, on the island of Patmos, who got this vision, and he has to basically break down this word, right? He chooses the word mark, right? And basically when you go into the root word, these are the meaning that it stems from. So you have to describe it in what he knew back then, right? And the Romans, what they did, right, to make sure that their slave is being tagged is to put a mark on them, a brand or a stamp. You know what I mean? It's just like when you brand a horse, you know what I mean, to show ownership, right? Or to surveil them, whatever the horse travel and go. If you break out at the stable or whatever, you know what I mean, it can easily be retrieved because that brand is on there to show that, look, we own them, right? It's the same thing here, right? And that's, all right. And the root word for charagma is charax, which means a pale or stick or palisade, right? Which shows you, a pale or stick basically is a sharp edged instrument, you know what I mean? A stick, we used to use peg vampire and everything there, anyway. Right? So that goes to show that's basically representative or describing the syringe, right? That they're going to use to put in that device under the skin. All right. Now the root word for charax is grapho. And grapho said what? To write with reference in form of a letter, right? To write in reference in the form of a letter, right? To write down records, right? It's a committed to writing things not to be forgotten. To write down record, right? To keep what? Record. See? Now that's the word for you, man. Now what am I doing in East Palestine? Let's go back into the article, right? Your medical records. All of these things is going to have your medical records, man. Right? It's going to have your medical records. Let's go back up at the top. It said, let's see. Okay, so it's somewhere down on the article. So let's continue. Basically, let's just finish the verses in Revelation, and then we'll just continue the article. So it said, and he calls it, all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right? Now, let's get back into the article. Right. So he said, the town of East Palestine, Ohio, shows deeply embedded in this agenda is the plan of the elite. Before the town entered into the public discourse by becoming the scene of the worst environmental disaster in history. The biggest piece of news came out of it appears to be another irritation of the ongoing initiative to implement the digital surveillance tools to the public infrastructure. In late January, East Palestine officially launched its My ID program, right? Program in order to equip residents of the town and neighboring town, Unity Township, with a digital ID. The premise was properly to equip emergency responders with digital health profiles of those who would be treating. East Palestine Digital ID Initiative was announced in October 2022. So this is what we're speaking about. It says what? The premise was preparedly to equip emergency responders with digital health profiles, man. What the scripture said. When they go in at the word mark, right, then they go in at charax and grapho, right, to written down, to write down records, man. See, that's here. Where it says 2b, right, number 2, right, section B right here. So to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Write down record. Right? All of your health records is going to go on that that device that's going to be put under your skin. Now, this is not the mark of the beast. It is the framework that is being set up. Just like how in East Palestine them say the ID and such were already, and this QR code bracelets and such what them have over that side given away. Right? Those were put in place already, and then them create a scenario so people would gladly accept it because it is ready for them. That's the same way how the implant, the device, the RFID microchip, let's just say that, right, is already out there, but them are going to have something catastrophic are going to happen wherein they're going to move from this QR code or this, because all the disease bracelet can last. It's not attached to your body. You can lose it. So in order for you not to lose that, you're going to get a device embedded in under the skin. So these men just create this is just a placeholder basically for that. For the under the skin implant, right? Just get down into the article. Right? And so all of this was done from in 2022, the ID rollout in 2022. It said the rollout of my ID program was vested in the East Palestine Fire Department. Right? It's kind of the old medical alert bracelet of old vials of the life program. However, this is the new technology. It's a QR code that we're able to scan. It will bring up your pertinent information, medical related. There is no information that anybody can take or steal your ID with. It's just for us to be able to take care of the patients, right, who are unable to communicate with us. East Palestine Fire Chief Keith Derrick said. Right, so all of this, right, as we was reading, this new technology and such, man, was set up for this particular thing, to surveil, and not just the medical information is going to be on the implanted device, is going to be under your skin, right? Not just your medical, but your bank account, your passport, your driver's license, every facet of your life, your biometric details, information, everything, man. And now we have out here in Jamaica, we see the CBDC and such, which is programmable money, something like a token, which them can now determine what you spend it on, how you spend it. It can be expired. See? So this is where it's going, man. Total and autonomous control. And the article speaks about the World Economic Forum. These are the ones that are making these plans because they're moving to what even the article speak about it, a fourth industrial revolution, right? Where in the way we do things is going to be drastically changed. All right. So before we get further in the article, let's get some scriptures, man. All right. So this is Ecclesiasticus. No, a matter of fact, let's leave that for the further down in our lesson. So this is Wisdom of Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 12. Man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes are taken in an evil net, and as the birds are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snare in an evil time when it falleth upon them suddenly. Now, just like how everybody in East Palestine were, asleep one day and the next day, boom, this happened. That's how, this thing is going to happen, That's how the implant is gonna sneak up on our people. You know what I mean? And they're being coerced into these things, man, because it's not, it's a snare and it's a trap. That's what the scripture is saying. It's a snare and it's a trap, man. And it people don't know it's a trap. People do not know it's a trap because look at how it is being orchestrated. People just running, and them have no, if you need help in terms of health and medical help, you're going to need to take that QR code that they're giving down in Ohio. You know what I mean? But it was a trap from day one because it said the ID rolled out from 2022, right? And then they have the QR codes and all of that already at hand. So then them create the scenario, right? And once them create the scenario, then here comes the help, which is a trap. But the scripture says what? We're not ignorant of his devices, man. We know these things. And we say it when we see these things happening from in Ohio and other places. We say it, right? All right, so let's just finish off the article. It said the East Palestine Fire Department held a sign up for an event at the town community center this January in an effort to enroll into the cloud-based information system. They were able to collect $5,000 in donation aid, roll out the program. He said the QR code can fix in the wristband or a key fob, but depend on the digital ID software storing a person's health information in a cloud hosted database, right, in either instance. So as we speak about the implant that's going to be under the skin, it's very small, but there's a huge amount of space that can store everything that we're discussing. So during the event, Derek emphasized that my ID pilot program was intended to have a limited scope, narrowly pertaining to the sensitive medical information of those enrolled, tactically alluding to underlying concern about privacy that was skeptic for digital IDs recent. Right, about the technology, Derek would go on to compel skeptic to explore the program despite of their reservation. Anybody that's skeptic, come down and sit down and talk to us. That's bullshit. Anyway, despite the initiative to implement the My ID program, even the fire department official task is to roll out likely some not have foreseen devastation in East Palestine. Okay, so this part say, however, the impetus to start a digital initiative proceeding to what have been an unforeseen crisis is a pattern that supposed conspiracy theorists know all too well. So, as I say, it's a pattern, man. This is how the man them do certain things. And we know it all too well. And we're not conspiracy theorists. The scripture reveal it, man. So, before hysteria surrounding the C-19 gripped the world, events has been held. So this goes to show you that's a trap again. This part of the article as a good point also. So it's before the hysteria surrounding the C-19 gripped the world, an event held in collaboration between the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and John Hopkins University, foreshadowing the eventual pandemic. Event 201 created a simulation to gauge the global response to a C virus epidemic as a means of pushing forward the very technologies that the entry Slovakia, that the center of the World Economic Forum's vision of the future, which were also implemented in East Palestine before the watershed crisis that would alter the landscape of the town forever, right? One of the partners of Event 201 was ID 2020, right? A digital ID initiative, right? That Bill Gates was heavily invested in, that serves as an archetype, right, for the vaccine passport, right? That global NGOs and sovereign government alike have been steadfast in attempting to implement. So just like how East Palestine, this thing was orchestrated before. You know what I mean? It's a pattern, man. It's a pattern. This is how them always do. Them have an agenda to carry out, right? Them have an agenda to carry out, and this is the pattern what them normally use. Problem, reaction, solution. Right, so let me just get just read the last part of the article and just finish off with some scriptures. All right, so it's a devastation in East Palestine rightfully put an emphasis on an effect energy response to the save the 5,000 or so residents, right? For the town of the Prevel, right, they face as they are engulfed in the cryogenic miasma, if I'm pronouncing that right, which threatens their short-term and long-term health, while it is the understandable priorities and underlining on the underlying current patterns which have preceded previous manufactured emergencies. Right? It is manufactured, are putting the chemical catastrophe into a new light. First, there was a re-emergence of the 2022 file White Noise, film White Noise. Yeah, this go back to Predictive Program. It's a movie that came out, and the same thing that happened in the movie, so which seemingly serve as a piece of predictive programming is a plot entered into around the aftermath of a chemical explosion, right? Affecting a small town in Ohio. Now it rolls out the digital ID program like that, which was showcased during the 2001 rise of unquestioned that the event 201 rises even more questions than answers about that, what's really going on in East Palestine, right? Yep. Yeah, man. So, we have these things have been, the scripture say, oh, the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secret unto his servants, the prophets, man. Right? So this is, let me get Psalms 10. All right. Let me get Psalm 64 first. This is Psalm 64 and verse. We start verse 1. Say, hear my voice, O God, in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, for the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrow, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? So a snare is a trap. A snare is something that look enticing. It's not supposed to look like a trap, right? And it's speaking about Esau, man, right? Esau, Edom, so-called white man, right? That's what they're doing. They're setting traps. So they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. But the inward man, But the inward thoughts of every one of them on the heart is deep. Speaking about Esau, Edom, so-called white man. See, the scripture have everybody characteristic down to the T, right? This is Esau, Edom, where the scripture speak up as a so-called white man, right? You know, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall he be wounded. You know, so and he shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right? Now the scripture said what the inward thoughts of every one of them on the heart is deep. Look at what they're doing, man. Right? For all the things that we're reading about. Right? Just check the facts. Psalms 10 and verse 1. Why standest afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in the time of trouble? He said, the wicked, the pride, do it persecute the poor. Right? Let them be taken in the vice that they have imagined. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred. One way of boasting of a heart desire is putting all of these things in the movie before it happens. You know what I mean? That's one way that them do these things. So the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh Bashim Yashai is not all in his thoughts. His ways are always grievous, that judgment is far out of his sight. As far as his enemies, he puffeth at them. And he said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I'll never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking place of the village. In the secret place doeth he murder the innocent. Right? His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly, as a lion in his den. He layeth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth them into his net. So this is, you see, it's a constant, these scriptures, man, is to show you the intent and the heart of these men. Right? Their aim is against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? That's the Heavenly Father and his Son, man. And their aim is to basically destroy, right, and create a dystopia. It's not going to be a utopia, but a dystopia, right, ruled by technology and AI systems, right? 15-minute cities, you know, you can no longer, you know what I mean, go about. You don't have no free room, you know what I mean, to walk about and to do about. You're going to be continually surveyed, under surveillance, you know. That's you know, it's a slavery dystopia with these men are trying to bring. Right? It's going to bring you back worse slavery, you know. So it's he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And he said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, and he will never see it. Arise, O Lord, and lift up thine hand, and get not the humble. Forget not the humble. Right. Yeah, we can basically stop at there. Let's just get this scripture that I had from back earlier. Right. So it said Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 8. It said, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And now we're going to see the kingdom moving from Esau, Edom, right, unto the sons of Jacob, right, which is us, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians, right? The blessings of rulership on this entire earth pertaining to us as Hebrew Israelites, right? And there's a reason why you see Esau going full-fledged, because he know that he had but a short time. And he have to get in world domination plan, you know, so to speak, in full swing, you know. So with that one, give our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakulash. Give honors to the elders and the apostles of great Stone. Shalom to you, brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.